Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Geek Girl. I'm Sally. Today I have another speed build for you, but this time of a LOZ mini bricks kit, and it is part of the architecture series and it's called SAKURA TRAM. It has 1,213 pieces, 135 steps to building it, and it is number 1907 in their catalogue. So boy, was this a big build. I'll tell you that from the start. I had 5 hours of raw footage to condense and sort out into this video, which is just shy of 30 minutes in the long run. So yeah, a lot of filming involved. I obviously did this piece over a number of days. I think it was 3 separate days I'd worked on it to finish it, but I enjoyed the building process without a doubt. I really love this piece. It looks spectacular and it is hanging up on my wall now. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, I really highly recommend this piece. But having said that, the biggest thumbs down for this piece, and it is a massive thumbs down, is that it doesn't say what bag to use for what stage of building, because all of the pieces you need for each step are spread out over the entire 9 bags. I think it was 9 bags in total. Might have been slightly more bags, but however many bags came in the set. So for step 1, say you need like a couple of blue pieces, a couple of white pieces, that they would be in 9 of those bags. So you couldn't rely on bag 1 is for steps 1 to 6, for example. Nah, all the bags were needed for all the steps. So what I ended up having to do was opening every single bag and sorting out all 1,213 pieces before I even started building, and you could see that at the very beginning of the video. I didn't show doing all of the bags. I only showed what I was doing for a couple of the bags, having to sort them all out, largely because, God, that would have been forever filming. I think it took me an hour to sort out all of the pieces in real time. That was no way I was going to film that. I mean, I could have filmed all of it and then did the speed like I did with the rest of it, but nah, to be honest, I cracked it a little bit after a while of filming, and I thought, I'm not filming it anymore, and I had to walk away and do something else and then come back and sort it. I mean, that honestly was just a really big thumbs down, as I said, for the piece. It would have been so good for something this big to have it sorted out into the bags per step like they did with the other one I showed recently, the quicksand cup. It was, this is the bag you need for steps 1 to 6, blah blah blah. No, not with this one. So that is something to be aware of if you're going to get this and want to do it, that a large chunk at the beginning of your time is going to be spent on sorting the pieces. Now I had to sort them on trays because obviously lunar, so I needed something I could pack up neatly and put away from cat reach. If you don't have that problem, well, then I guess you could have it on a workbench and leave them there for the time. But I had to put them on some sort of surface that I could constantly move out of the way, so little cat paws wouldn't get to them. But once you get past that, the building process is easy and the instructions are easy to follow. There were maybe 1 or 2 steps that I really had to concentrate on whilst building, but out of 135 steps, that percentage is fairly low, and that could have just been, I was getting tired at that point or hungry, so I was making a few silly mistakes and not following instructions as clearly, and that can happen if you sit there and do something for too long and don't have a break. Well, like I find that I can get hyper focused and then just want to sit there and do it all, but I really had to concentrate on ironically not sitting there all that time and doing it all in one go. I had to give myself a break. And I knew that time had come when I started making like the silly mistakes of, like, as I said, not being able to quite understand what the instruction sheet was showing me, or dropping pieces, or, as I showed in the video, putting the wheels on the tram in the wrong place twice, things like that. So that was my cue to go, nah, have a break now, have a, have a Snickers. What's that, the ad? No, the Kit Kat. It's have a break, have a Kit Kat. So Kit Kat, if you want to sponsor me to do any more builds, I'm all open. You do some awesome flavors, hit me up. I know it's not going to happen, but we could try. But yeah, that was the only issue I found with the actual building process. And of course, some pieces are very tiny and fidgety, and I can be a bit clumsy with my fingers and missing nails, and so I found them a little bit tricky in some parts, but I still, it was still doable. You just use tweezers instead of your fingers if you've got fatter fingers like I do, that you need something a bit more, with a bit more finesse to attach pieces, so use some tweezers. Also, with it being like 5 hours of raw footage, I was working between two cameras. I have my main overhead camera that I use for like pretty much all my filming. It's starting to get a bit precious in its older age, and it overheats quite easy. But I did go and get Terry to do a factory reset on it for me, so it seemed to work a lot better towards the end. So hopefully, that's going to work okay for future builds. So I did swap between two cameras, which is why you see a couple of different angles. But I think that's good too. It helps with the visualization of the actual video, so that not everything is the same angle, so you've got a bit of visual stimulation for yourself as it changes angles. But I think that's really all I can say about the building. I'm just checking my notes. That's all I'd written down. It is a beautiful piece. As I said, I have it hanging up on my wall now because the frame is such that it can either sit flat on a shelf if that's the space you have, or you can put it on a hanging hook on the wall, and that's where mine is, and it's where I can see it from where I sit to watch my TV or play my console games. And it really is, it's a beautiful piece. So apart from that bit with the having to sort all of the pieces out at the beginning, I still recommend this piece to do and to get if you love the builds. It's stunning. It really is a beautiful piece. So I can put aside that bit that is, and I'm not going to downplay it. It is highly annoying that the pieces aren't bagged according to the steps, but I can put that aside because the piece was easy to build, and it is a really beautiful piece when it's finished. So please enjoy the rest of the video, which will be just music for the rest of the speed build, because I can't think of 30 minutes worth of conversation to have in this case about this piece. The rest of it will be music, speed build. But I do appreciate everybody for watching. Leave me a comment down below what you thought of this piece, and if it is something you would yourself be interested in getting now that you've seen me build it, because I think it's worth it if you like brick building. And just the usual sign off from me. If this is your first time watching my channel and you haven't done so already, please subscribe, hit that like button and also the notification bell. As always, leave a comment. I love to hear from you and I always respond. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, I do have a Ko-fi and a Patreon account set up. The details are at the beginning of the video, along with my social media links if you are interested in following me on any of my socials. But until next time, everybody please stay safe, stay weird, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.